Hello, today we're going to texture this model in Blender and bring it over into the Unity game engine so we can use it in the game. So let's get started. So we're going to start right up here in Blender and choose a general cube. Click Control Tab and this wheel will pop up. Go to edit mode. And here we have the cube. We're going to right click, subdivide. We're going to subdivide a few times and scale up. Okay, just the cube subdivided several times to get all these. You can go as many as you'd like. Okay, as you can see, I have 3,000 tries. That's pretty high. You don't want game objects to be that many in a game, so we're actually going to drop that way down with a modifier later, so need not worry. Let's move on and click Sculpting Workspace, and we're going to go right into sculpting this cube. And right off the bat, I have it on just the regular draw, and I just want to modify this and take the symmetry off because I want it to be completely natural looking, as natural as I can get it. So under Sculpt, I want to click Symmetry and just make sure it's all off, and let's go. And that comes in handy also if you want to quickly get some areas done. So in layout, you want to go back to edit mode. Okay, click on this little tool here. It's a modifier, so we're going to add modifier and decimate. So what decimate will do will decimate times 10, decimate will subtract times 10 or whatever your ratio is, and we're going to click back over into object mode, and we can collapse this down and see it in real time that we are now down to 894 tries. Very important. So if you're satisfied with the model like that, that looks kind of cool. I could work with it. And I could just even this off to 0.3. And we're going to stick with that. And you can only apply this in object mode, so I'm going to apply. And there you have it. Okay, so we're going to go from the layout here and we're going to go to UV editing. And for some reason right now I cannot UV project, the smart UV project. I think it might be a glitch within Blender 2.8, which is still in just beta mode, so I give them that. But anyway, for now we're just going to unwrap, and it'll just do a straight UV unwrap. Okay. Now we're going to go to texture paint, and you're going to have this weird purple sort of color. It looks kind of cool, but we're going to change that real quick by over here in the tool tab, tools tab. We're going to go to textures and we're going to add a base color, and we're just going to call this mossy grass top. Okay, and we want to change this resolution to more detail, so 2048. Okay, 2048, and there we have it. So now this texture is able to be painted upon. Over here, we're going to click that so you can see that it's the larger 20 by 48. and we're going to start painting on this. Okay, so now that we have this unwrapped and ready to go, we're going to click down here in the tab to the textures, and we're going to add a new. And from here, we're going to add an image or movie, and we're going to add a new. Again, make this resolution nice and detailed, or at least larger than 1024. 1048 I suggest. And then you're going to select your file for what kind of texture you're going to use. I'm going to use something I selected from engine.Texture.com, and it's called this one. Now this is an advanced painter, so I'm going to use my number key 1 to do the front orthographic view and just kind of zoom out and paint this texture on there. And I'm going to zoom in and take a look. And you'll see there's seams here, there's stretching here, there's another seam right there. So we're going to also make sure your strength is all the way up. Okay. Number pad 9 to flip it to the back orthographic. Okay, number pad 3 to flip it to the right orthographic. And number pad 9 again to flip it to the left. 9 always flips it to the opposite that you're on, so example 7 is top, and then 9 would flip it. Now I just sort of haphazardly painted this whole thing. So now that you have the whole rock covered, we can go in here now and switch to, from your texture brush, switch to your tab with the tools, and we're going to go down to your texture drop down menu here in the tool tab, texture drop down, and this will give you different modes. We're going to select stencil. It always is, it's by default tiled. We're going to choose stencil, and that gives us this really cool stencil right here. So we're going to zero back out to front orthographic by number pad 1. And I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to make this brush larger for one. And I'm going to go in here and paint finer details with this. And I will just tap it to fix any kind of weird stretching or, color that shouldn't be there. You don't want patterns to form, so if you see a pattern forming, you want to click it away with some other. That looks cool. Okay. And you just kind of want to go around in detail and put more fix them structures so it looks more realistic. Okay. These parts down here where it's stretched. Okay, we'll move the stencil away and we'll take a look. It's starting to look very cool. It's got better detail in here. There's some stretching parts we're going to want to tap in there and fix. I go like that and just sort of tap a little. You can also turn the strength down to make it blend a little bit better. Okay, and just move around the whole object until it is ready to okay, so firstly I want to go over to image here on the UV tab, go to image and save as mossy grass top, whatever you're going to name it, and put it in whatever, directly into your project. I put it under a textures folder, and we're going to save it. And now we're going to export the model. Click export in FBX, and just export the mesh. You don't need to export anything else, and put it right into your project, however you do it, whatever folder, and make sure you remember what it is. And there it is, exported. So let's go over into Unity. Okay, over here in Unity we're going to remember where we put our model. Mine's under Blender models. I usually just label it like that so I know it's at every time. And what the heck did I name it? Was Mossy Platform 2. Okay, I'm going to click on that and just look at the import, the materials. You're going to extract materials from this folder. Select the folder. There it is. Look at the model, everything looks fine. And we're just going to pop this right in there. First thing you'll want to do is go to your shader and click from transparent to opaque. I'm not sure why that does that. I think it's something with Unity, or Blender 2.8 again. So here's our model in Unity. And it's not bad. I feel like the color is off a little bit, but we're going to fix that up a little bit. Yeah, so that's how we do it. And it's over here in Unity. I'm using it as a platform in my game. And here's a Blender pro tip. When you bring the object into Unity, the access is more often than not completely wrong, so you'll not be able to use the object as you thought you could. So here's a pro tip. You just want to create a new object, and in my object I'm going to call it Mossy Platform 2. You want to reset the transform. Okay. Now I'm going to take my Mossy Platform and put it right on that object, and just move that where the reset is, which is right there, and just double check, and that's where it's at. So I'm going to take this back over here, and on this object I'm going to put my Edge Collider 2D, and you're going to see that I could now edit this Edge Collider for the platform. Okay, and now my my game player can now interact with this platform. I'll just set it to platforms. Yes, change the children, and then we'll play it real quick. Character now lands on. Okay, there's a pro tip for you. So,